Hi, my name is O, head of venture builder at SCB10X. So today it's an opening speech, but it's going to be a weird one because I'm going to be explaining a bit of the hackathon as well. So first, starting off with SCB10X, right? What is it, right? We are a tech venture capital investment and also a venture building arm of SCB10X of SCB Group. We are doing two things. First is obviously investing in new technologies and new startups, but at the same time, we are also building new startups as well. Right? Our area of focus, we first started off with like blockchain, digital assets, metaverse, and now we are also getting into AI as well. As you may have seen a few announcements that we have done in AI at the global scale as well. The spaces that you are sitting here right now is an extension of SCB10X. We call this space DISTRICTX. Basically, we hope that this space is going to be the community where builders can actually come and engage, build their own communities, talk to each other, get exchange in knowledge, in lessons learned and knowledge around like startup building. We offer many things, right? Hot desks, working spaces for startups to work out of our spaces. We host community events like this. We also help host community events run by other entities as well. So if you're interested, to work out of this space or would like to use the space for community events like this, please feel free to reach out. Look for more information on our website or just reach out to the email that we've given on the slides here. So coming into this hackathon, right? I think OpenAI ChatGPT has been released around November of last year. We are already past like half month into October, right? So it's been almost a year. Everyone talks about AI being a really powerful innovation that's going to disrupt everything, right? Obviously, I think like a lot of us, if not most of us, are probably using AI in some ways, ChatGPT or AI is embedded in other services, right? But somehow the promise that everyone has been talking about for the past year, somehow it still at least feels to me an addition and adjacent to how we actually work and live, right? It's still not seeped into our lives as much as we think it would since the kind of like breakthrough in generative AI since last year. So the theme for this year, hackathon, we want to focus on that, right? Unlocking generative AI adoption, right? Whatever is kind of like docking generative AI into kind of like adoption into more of our lives and also our work, we want to kind of like help make those breakthrough happen. And in three ways: build, innovate, and transform. So what does that mean, right? So for this hackathon, we are breaking down into three tracks: model layer, tooling layer, and application layer. Right? I think a lot of people actually submitted a lot of questions to us on the differences between these three tracks, right? Specifically, model layer. Like when you think of AI, right? Think of this track one as the model level, how we can actually improve the model. Some example areas, I think it's gives a clear explanation there, where you could be improving tokenizer, you could be improving the architecture for the AI, or you could be improving or adding new data set that would help the AI to be more performant or more efficient. On track two, on tooling layers, I think this had a lot of questions as well, right? Think of after you have a really good model, right? The model itself could not do everything that you would like to do in a real service or in real life, right? So this track two is designed so that it enables us to focus on building the extensions on top of those models, but not yet at the application layers, right? So looking at the examples here, then you see a better picture. For example, like improving AI agents, doing multimodality onto the models, generating AI frameworks, or producing like guardrails to help AI, being able to use AI in a more safer way, or extending the AIs towards other services that are residing outside of the model itself. Right. So this is for layer for the track two. It's more of an infrastructure, but not yet on the use cases of the AI in real life or real businesses. And then comes the third track, which is the application layer. the challenge is to how might we use generative AI to drive product innovation, right? So this means that what kind of like new products that we can able to ideate and innovate on the recent developments in AI, right? Some example areas here is financial innovation, healthcare, energy sustainability, virtual world, or creative content generation, right? So all in all, I think the easiest way to think of this is seeing from the inner layer, we have the model, that's the track one, right? The track two is all about the extension, the infrastructure of how do we actually enable the models to do more than, more jobs than the language model itself can do. And then the third track is how we can actually use the model itself or the model plus tooling in order to adopt it into a real world business or use cases. Then there's some qualifications that we have. First of all is one of the team members should have an engineering background. The reason that we put this is because we want to make sure that in this hackathon, we also not just ideating, but also proving that this idea that we are coming up with is actually feasible in some ways, right? We understand that that the hackathon is only a bit more than a week long. You're probably not gonna be able to do a full-fledged even model improvements or applications, but we want to see that it's not just an idea, it's not just a proof of concept, just basically on the design, but we want you to show as well that there's actually possibility that we could make this happen. There's feasibility in the innovation that you develop here. So that's why there's a reason why we want someone as an engineering background to help kind of like do the technical architecture and also do a technical proof of concept that this actually could work, right? If you spend more time and resource on it after the hackathon. Team composition, the team can be up to 2 to 5 members. We encourage a diverse team. We think new innovations don't come up because we are all a group of the same kind of like quality, same kind of background, right? I think innovation mostly happens when we crisscross the ideas between multidisciplinary fields. So we encourage the teams to be across multiple aspects. There are some other qualifications as well. For example, track T. Obviously, we are presenting, we want to see different use cases, and we will have bounties from different supporters providing bounties, right? The only qualification we would like is that if you are actually joining us from that specific company, please don't apply for your own bounty from the same company, right? So otherwise it won't be fair for others. You won't be able to switch the tracks during the hackathon, and also the team must only start building their proposed idea at Bangkok AI. I know that a lot of people are already working on the AI products or AI models or different innovations within AI field itself. In that case, it doesn't mean that you can't apply, but we at the hackathon we just want the idea that you are implementing for the hackathon to be new, right? This you can prove by just the code that you produce or the prototype that you produce. Figure out, show proof that it actually was built during the hackathon and not before the hackathon, and then that's going to be fine. So the hackathon is from 11 to 19 November. It's going to start off on the 11th, which is a Saturday, and ends on the next Sunday. So it's going to cover 2 weekends. We're going to have orientation, we're going to have workshops, and then there's going to be kind of like 5 days of hacking that will provide mentorship, and then we'll convene back on the 19th of November to do the demo days and do the judging. And the prizes in total, we have for each track 3,000 USD for each of the track. So in total, that's 9,000 USD for for all of the specific tracks. And we are also getting gracious support by many supporters by providing bounties, right? So these bounties are actually on top of those prizes, right? There could be cases where you win the prize for the track and also win the bounty, but there could also be cases where you might not win the prize for the track, but you could win the bounty as well, right? So this is up for you to pick. different bounties will actually have their own kind of statement or their own criteria on how they will distribute the prize there. So you can read the details here, read the details on the website. We'll also have sessions after this to talk more and then do Q&As about the bounties. There are also other partner supports as well. Model each track, both specific to the track itself and also the support that are across the tracks. So all in all, so as you can see, we have like prepared a lot into this hackathon. There are many prizes to be won, and there are many bounties, many supports that we are getting from our sponsors and partners. So we really encourage you to join this hackathon. I think it's going to be great. Not only the prize that's going to be important, but I think it's the connections that you get from both the team members and also the chance that you're talking to all of our partners that are participating in this hackathon is going to make this hackathon a really valuable experience for everyone, including myself as well. So with this, I would like to thank you all our partners. To name one by one: Microsoft, AWS, Together AI, Samba Nova, AI Singapore, Vistech, Visai, AIAT, AIEAT, Super AI Engineer Program, Creators Garden, NECTech, Wang, SCBTechX, DataX, InnovestX, and also our community and media partners, Thai Programmer Association, KMUT CPE, Whiteside, Panyapiwat, AI Banban, Coraline, TechSauce, and Future Trends. So as you can see, like we are really have a really big set of supporters supporting us. So please be sure to apply for this hackathon. Only about 7 days left. And if you're unsure yet, I hope that this venue today is going to help you kind of like be more certain and be more confident that you're getting a strong team, getting a strong idea to participate in hackathon. And see you on 11th November for the actual hackathon. Thank you, Pam.
So first off, I got some of the questions from online. Do we just make a prototype, or are we coding it out?
Okay, I'll answer this one. I'm supposed to moderate, right? So I think that there's a definition of prototype that we have different in mind, right? To us, if we think of prototype, we said yes. But I think judging from the question, you probably mean like kind of like a Figma prototype where you can do wireframe and such, right? I think we are expecting more than that because like when you talk about like generative AI, right, there's still a lot to be discovered. Like there's a lot of limitations in place right now, and what we want to know is whether the idea that you come up with, is it plausible to do in the near future, right? Or even if it's gonna take time in the medium to long-term future, then that's fine, right? But we wanna know whether your team has some idea on how to crack that, and you can demonstrate that you have made progress towards that achievement, right? So prototyping just on Figma, on just like kind of like a design prototype might not make it for us. You have to show that you can actually deliver to some extent given the timeline that you have as well, right? So I would say like, yeah, it's probably code. It could be some no code too as well if you can fine tune and stuff on the AI, but yes, there has to be more than just the I would say like the interface.
I think the deal is just like it should be able to run, and it might just work in some limited scope, but at least it should prove that in some aspect it run and it produce the result that you expect it to produce. There might be some like different cases that it doesn't work, but it's okay. We can work on it like later, but like hopefully it's work in like enough cases.
Okay, thank you. So there's the second question that we got from online. I guess maybe Dr. Sarana, if you can help out this question, but you guys can help too. So this is specifically to track one. The person asks, is it possible to run LLMs on users' local machine with the same performance of the model that runs on high computational machine? It's kind of seems like tricky question. Yeah.
Well, the answer it depends, all right? Because LLM is not, it's not a technical term, right? Like a large, like what do you mean by large, all right? When it's like, when you're talking about hundreds of billions of parameters, that's probably way too large on your regular gaming devices. So that's no. Okay, but for a smaller range of LLM, that's I would say, and if you have a gaming GPU, a top range one, that's possible. All right, that's okay. So the answer it depends on how large it is.
So there are actually more questions here. Some other questions. For example, data. If we come up with our own with the idea, right? Where can we find the data from? Like, do we have to collect the data ourselves, or is there other way to find the data to train or fine-tune the model?
Interesting. I think generally, right, there's a lot of data online publicly. If there's some, I think first step into like finding the data that like suit your use case, there are probably like some data set that might be comparable, and if some use case is like not available, maybe if you have some idea how to collect it, please do. And maybe if you are generous, maybe you open source it, so next person that want to do that problem don't have to do it again, I guess.
Okay, thank you. And I guess like maybe a kind of an encompassing question, and I think we can go like track by track, right? So if I'm interested in one track, but I'm still not so sure how to actually find the right idea to try out in this hackathon. Right? What would be the best way to go look for like ideas for that track? Maybe start with Dr. Saranaka on track one first. Say like if I want to improve a AI model, right? Where should we go about? Do you have keywords for us to like go Google or something?
Well, wait. They're not even sure which track they want to apply to.
Yeah, so I think like there are many people that are exploring and figuring out like, oh, which track would be like most suitable.
Choosing the track, or maybe can I convert the question a little bit? Right? What kind of person would enjoy track one?
Okay.
Okay,
that
and
makes
then
sense.
and then you can pick your own track, and well, like you love to. I wanted to say you love to hack, but this is a hackathon, so that applies to all tracks. Probably someone who's a bit more academic, more technical than other people. All right, you want like a bit nerdy in the sense that you want to improve the model accuracy. Right, you're passionate about improving the performance of a model. All right, that's like that's probably someone who's going to enjoy the first track. Okay, so yeah, like if you have some experience, like for example, you have like senior year project, all right? Let's say like computer engineering student senior year project, you have done a machine learning project and you enjoyed it. Okay, chances are you're gonna enjoy track one. It's about performance improvement. Come up with something that you can objectively measure and show the improvements. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, maybe one follow-up question, so so for track one, right? It's about the model, and when we train model, like especially large language model, it's large, right? So usually it takes months, but we only have 9 days for the hackathon, right? And we discussed a lot about this, whether it's possible, right? Can you shed some light on maybe how do we shape the problem statement so that we can fit it in maybe like 9 days?
Yeah, it's a very difficult task, all right? And the reason why we went for in-context learning, Okay, for the bounty, that's one of the reasons. There are other techniques. For example, you don't have to fine tune the actual parameters of the models. Okay, this is not about the bounty. All right, for the bounty, you can just do in context learning. But in general, if you want to improve an LLM, okay, or any language model for that matter, you can use this technique called adapter, all right, or LoRa, where you fine-tune a discrete set of parameters rather than the actual parameters of the model. So that's gonna make it less computationally intensive. All right, and choose a smaller model. All right, as I mentioned earlier, LLM comes with different sizes, so choose the one with a smaller in a smaller range. Okay, and you know, maybe you know, and another thing is that a lot of times you don't have to work on LLM. Okay, it can be encoder decoder model like BART. For example, you want to do text summarization, BART can do that really well. You may want to try that as well. You want to do information extraction, you can use BERT, Roboda, XLML, all these models can work really fine. You want to do retrieval, something like universal sentence encoder, that's another way to do it. So yeah, there are many other tools than LLM that you can use to solve your problem.
And I want to add one thing up. We have generous support from AWS credit. Yeah, so we can try with the computation that we have.
So actually, I just got a signage that I am running out of time. So maybe I'll open up the floor for some questions. Yeah. Okay. So maybe one or two questions.
Actually for Q&A it can be done in Thai as well.
Okay.
ถ้ามีคำถามอะไรที่อยากถามเจาะได้เลยนะครับ
ได้ครับ
มีท่านไหน
มี
anyone anyone want to pose some questions right
ครับ สวัสดีผมพอดีภาษาอังกฤษผมไม่ค่อยดีฮะคือตอนแรกผมเข้าใจว่าแท็กวันเนี่ยมันจะมีคำถามที่กว้างก็คือว่าผมเชิญดร.ท่านบอกว่ามีแค่2เรื่องใช่ไหมฮะก็คือว่าเกี่ยวกับเรื่องอะไรนะแค่ tokenize ใช่ไหมแล้วก็เหมือนกับเกี่ยวกับภาษาไทยใช่ไหมฮะคือตอนปัจจุบันเนี่ยคือตัวโมเดลที่เป็นGPT เนี่ยมันสามารถไฟจูนในเครื่องคอมพิวเตอร์ทั่วไปที่มีแรมสัก128กิกะแล้วก็ GPU สัก1050แล้วก็ไฟจูนได้แล้วฮะแล้วก็ควันไตเป็น4 บิตที่ใช้โมเดล13 บิลเลียนนะทีนี้ที่จริงผมมีความคิดว่าจะเสนอตัวโครงการก็คือว่าจะทำให้โมเดลซึ่งปกติโมเดล GPT มันจะไม่เหมือนโมเดลพวกเป็น Narrow ANI ใช่ไหมฮะซึ่งมันเป็นSingle Shot คือเข้าแล้วออกเลยใช่ไหมฮะหรือมันเป็น Recursion เป็น CNN เป็น INN พวกนั้นฮะของตัว Transformer เนี่ยโมเดลมันจะแยกเป็นชิ้นโมเดลส่วนที่เป็นแค่เป็นโมเดลที่เป็นเวทเป็นก้อนหนึ่งแล้วเป็นโมเดล policy โมเดลที่เป็น search ซึ่งมันเป็นก้อนๆอยู่ใช่ไหมฮะมันต่อเป็นชิ้นๆซึ่งโมเดลพวกนี้มันไม่สามารถดูได้ด้วยพวกซอฟต์แวร์พวกนี้ตอนได้เพราะว่ามันถูกสร้างมาอีกแบบหนึ่งทีนี้ไอเดียผมตอนแรกว่าโมเดลแต่ละชิ้นเราสามารถเข้าไป accelerate ในตัว FPGA ได้คือมันสามารถทำให้เร็วขึ้นได้ครับก็คือแต่ว่าผมทราบว่าหัวข้อหนึ่งเนี่ยมันเป็นโจทย์ที่แคบซึ่งจริงๆมันมีหลายด้านคำว่า accelerator มันทำได้หลายแนว
ส่งมาได้ครับ
คำถามก็คือใน track ที่1เนี่ยสามารถส่งอะไรได้บ้าง
จริงๆผมต้อง clarify นิดนึงแล้วกันฮะคือ track 1นี่จริงๆกว้างมากครับผมแค่มาเสนอ bounty ของผมก็เลยอาจจะก็แต่คืออย่างนี้แล้วกันก็ถ้ามี resource ที่จะ fine tune โมเดลของตัวเองแล้วก็คิดว่าอยากจะทำให้ performance ดีขึ้นโดยที่ accuracy เท่าเดิมหรืออะไรอย่างเงี้ยก็เป็นโจทย์ที่น่าสนใจครับผมเป็นโจทย์ที่มีประโยชน์ฮะ
ก็คือส่งเข้ามาได้เลยนะครับไม่จำกัดไอเดียเลย เพียงแต่ว่าถ้าจะได้เรียกว่า extra bounty ก็อาจจะเป็นโจทย์จากทาง Wistech
ใช่
นะครับ
ขอเสริมตรงนี้นิดนึง
ครั
ก็
บ
คือ
ผม
อยากแยกให้ชัดเลยว่ามันมี prize ของ track เนอะเป็นรางวัลของ track แล้วก็มี bounty ประกอบ2อันเนี้ยจะแยกกันเสมอนะถ้าเกิดว่าเรา apply เข้าหา track เนี่ยเรา eligible for prize อยู่แล้วทีนี้เนี่ยถามว่าถ้าสนใจปรากฏว่าเฮ้ยไอเดียเราตรงกับที่ดรสนนะหรือว่าจากที่แบบ bounty สปอนเซอร์อื่นๆ เช่น InvestX กำลังมองหาอยู่พอดีตอนที่เราแข่งทำของขึ้นมาเสร็จนะครับในวันสุดท้ายเราจะมีให้เลือกว่าเราต้องการ apply for bounty ไหนได้ด้วยนะเพราะฉะนั้นคือ track 2 อันเนี้ยแยกกันครับ
Okay and maybe one more questions before we take a group picture and then we get to know each other in the matching sessions ครับ
Thank you. So I want to ask Dr. Sarana for this question. So if I would say that my solution is the combination of augmentation and maybe some adapter. It wouldn't have to be roller, but some adapter. Would you, if the contribution of augmentation is make the solution way better, is it have to be like, is what written down in the website that TrackPen is, I would say mostly about model and architecture, but if my solution is mostly focused on
Okay, that's
augmentation.
yeah, thank you very much. That's a very good question, and can I clarify? You're talking about track 1 in general, all right? Oh, okay. I would say that data augmentation is part of modeling, all right? In a sense that it is like a for supervised learning, all right? Data augmentation is the integral part of the learning pipeline. If you come up with a new data augmentation technique that can greatly improve the performance of the model, that's a legitimate contribution. Okay, yeah.
I see. Thank you.